There was no distance between the actor and the guy running the studio. He was right in there playing with you.
I'm with CBS. We're having a free CBS screening today. It's a new pilot series.
What time does it start?
It starts at 3 o'clock.
Over there. Don't listen to that guy. He's filling you with lies. It's nothing but lies. It's NBC's turn. Come on over here. Remember the Emmys? Root for the underdog. Come on over here.
Manimal, great new show on NBC. Turns into a panther before your very eyes. Manimal, terrific show on NBC. Hey, check it out.
We'll begin today's meeting with the NBC Programmer's Pledge. Place your right hand over where your hearts used to be.
Mr. Tartikoff, what's the secret of your success?
Well, certainly luck and timing play a big part. But I also pride myself on being a man of principle and integrity. You see, I will kowtow to no one.
Excuse me, Mr. Cosby is on the phone for you?
Oh, God, the sandwiches!
We leave no enemy alive.
Brandon's vision touched more than just the standard television series. The mini-series he was responsible for were historic, sweeping, gripping,
What would you say if I told you I deserved to die?
and very real.
I did not murder my wife and children.
Changing television for good, bringing critical issues such as spousal abuse to the forefront.
And I was thinking about all the things that had happened to me. How much he hurt me my whole life.
The quiet anguish of a family facing AIDS came to the attention of the American public in an early frost.
Michael, it's a disease, not a disgrace.
In 1983, it was the plight of missing children with the story of Adam Walsh.
The FBI will go after stolen cars in this country, but they won't search for my son.
What all of these programs had in common was they made us feel something. They were, each of them in their own way, a reflection of the man who inspired them and nurtured them on NBC. In his 48 years, Brandon Tartikoff knew exhilarating success and the devotion of family and friends. But he also had his share of setbacks. He waged 3 separate battles with cancer before Hodgkin's disease took his life this week. Remarkably, he waged all those battles with an almost total absence of complaint. For years, he and Lily were there alongside Calla as their daughter strived to recover from the ravages of a terrible car accident, an accident in which Tartikoff himself had also been seriously injured. Always, adversity was met with a wink and a nod. In a town, Hollywood, where it sometimes seems people root even for those they call their friends to fail, Brandon Tartikoff was beloved. In all the remembrances, public and private, one could not help but be struck not just by the expressions of admiration and respect, but of the even greater outpouring of fondness and affection.
One of the things I miss most about him is his inspiration, his incredible battle against Hodgkin's disease was an inspiration to us all.
His ability to withstand pain and difficulty is extraordinary.
There was a very strong spirit that came through that, okay, this is what we got to deal with, we're going to deal with it. And the next time something came up, okay, now we'll deal with this. And that was just the way he approached almost everything that I knew him for in a while.
I never thought for a second that I wasn't going to beat it.
We were never allowed to feel the pain that he felt. He wouldn't allow that.
No matter what you think you have nothing compared to what this man went through. 24 years of active cancer.
And he all seemed to have a lot of things going at the same time. And through all this, I had heard that he had been sick. But he never appeared sick to me. He always seemed to be going 100 miles an hour. And I thought, when does this guy have time to get sick?
I remember the car accident. I remember sitting around phones, getting messages from hospitals, minute hearing the result of what had happened.
His daughter being injured and all, and that seemed to have taken a lot of the spunk, for lack of a better word.
Being a parent, I think that what stands out in my mind is the courage that Brandon, must have had just to keep going after an accident that was so hard on his daughter. That is what just breaks my heart.
Every day we get more of Calla back, and every day is like a gift because you're seeing your child emerge from this horrific situation, and nobody's worked harder and nobody has made their parents more proud than my daughter has made my wife and I.
The irony to how it all ended was the fact that, you know, he was determined that he was going to beat Hodgkin's disease. And the reality is, in fact, he did beat Hodgkin's disease. And the unfortunate part is the kinds of treatments we had to use for his Hodgkin's disease were so intense that they left him pretty defenseless in a lot of respects. And
I think having those things happen to me at kind of an early age at least gave me the dividend of having a perspective on things.
I don't remember him ever complaining about the cancer. He complained about everything else, but never his own physical problems.
I would like to invite all of you viewers out there to come visit us on Bob Hope Drive. Just take the Hollywood Freeway to the Joan Rivers turnoff, hang a right at the Gary Coleman cul-de-sac. Believe me, you can't miss it.
This is a man who's taught me about commitment. He's taught me to go for whatever it is I want to go with as much passion. I'm going to cry.
The example of his spirit is his courageous battle against a disease.
Brandon, to you I toast. First, good health. Then good ratings, and always my love.
Even with all the things that he faced, if you ask him, he would have quoted Lou Gehrig and said, I'm the luckiest guy on the face of the earth. He got his strength from Lily and from Calla and Elizabeth. Life may not have always smiled on him, but he always smiled on life.
A few years ago, Brandon Tartikoff wrote a memoir of his years in television. He called it The Last Great Ride. It was a great ride, and those of us lucky enough to take even a part of it with him will never forget it or him.
Every day is like a gift. It was like falling in love. This thing that you had been part of was so wonderful, and other people were realizing it was so wonderful. Nobody has made their parents more proud than my daughter has made my wife and I.
I basically accused him of creating characters that he'd like to be friends with.
Always wanted to say this. Hello, viewers.
I've always considered myself the luckiest man alive. I think back on the years that I've had and the friends that I've made and the moments we've shared. And not only has my life been so blessed and so wonderful, but it has always been fun.